Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting live from Leander, Texas. It is 5:51 in the morning on February 11th, 2022. And yeah, it's Friday, man. I'm ready to finish this last day of work before I go to Denver next week. And I know I've shilled the hell out of that, but I'll be at Dow Denver and ETH Denver and looking forward to it. So yeah, I'll be making the drive there on Sunday. But anyway, this is my morning crypto brain dump, aka video blog, where I dump on you all the things that I learn in crypto on a daily basis. And there's always something going on and happening in the crypto space, and I'm always learning something. So, I mean, I've been doing this, well, daily for a while. Over a year, I did it daily. I don't do it daily anymore because I have a bunch of other stuff going on. But since October 24th, 2020, I've been doing this. And yeah, this is episode number 409. 409, Formula 409. Yep, that magic spray that your mom had and in the 80s and would clean just about anything up. Yes, the old cleaner cabinet. And you got to put, that's before we had child safety locks. Speaking of which, my daughter got into the nail polish and decided she wanted to see what it tasted like, and took a little pull off of the acetone nail polish that my wife has. And it's not been a fun night. You know, it's like that whole balance. Like, do you rush them to the emergency room? I know, like, about 3 tablespoons is a lethal dose. It's not pretty. It's not been fun. So it's been a long night. This whole kind of, do we take her or not? She's fine. Yeah, she yeah, she had acetone all over the place, and she got it on her face. Her cheeks were red. Poor little girl. But it was just kind of a tense night. So I'm a little tired right now. But that's what happens when you have small children. It's always just this kind of like balance of where you're gonna be at as a parent, like emergency room visits. It's not only the cost, like it would probably end up being like a $12,000 emergency room visit, but the trauma for a very small child to have their stomach pumped when they might not really need to. I'm an EMT, so I do have a little bit of a medical background, so I know how to deal with some poison control circumstances, and we called poison control, and everybody determined that it was fine just to let it ride through the night. Yeah, it's just tense. It's tense, so especially when it's your kid. So, but I'm up and still doing my show. It's just one of those things. Yeah, yeah. What does nail polish taste like? Like, what goes through the minds of kids? I was there before too. When I was a little kid, I took a bite out of my turd in the toilet. I'll say that on camera. I did. And I wanted to see what a dead cockroach tasted like when I was 2 years old, and I did that too. So it's just part of, we're born with a very hardy immune system and a very strong body, and we were given that, and it doesn't need modern science to reconstruct that for us. It's just my personal opinion, man. But yeah. So anyway, let's focus on crypto, and because that's what this show is about. CoinGecko is my favorite little coin tracker. So let's see here. Bitcoin. Everything's in the green yesterday. We had a little dip yesterday afternoon. So if you were able to buy, so it still had yesterday's. Okay, token prices up. Okay, no, I just had to refresh the screen. So we are a little down from yesterday. Okay, so but yesterday everything was up. There was not a single thing in the red yesterday, and everything now. 7-day average it's in the green now, which is good. We have, let's see here, Bitcoin at $43,449.57. Ethereum 3,100, down 4.8 from yesterday. Bitcoin's down 3.2% from yesterday. Tether's a stable coin. Binance down 2.9%. USDC is a stable coin. XRP down 8% from yesterday, up 34.4% over 7 days. Cardano down 4.67, and is up 9.5%. Solana down 7%. 24 hours up 5.1%. Polkadot down 8%, up 9.4% over the past 7 days. Avalanche it's just remained right even, up 32.9% at $90.47. If you were able to make an arbitrage when Avalanche hit down to around the high 50s, low 60s, and then sell again. See, I keep saying it every day almost, that Avalanche is one of those tokens. If you're an arbitrage trader, or if you know how to time things, Avalanche could probably be a good one for you. But I don't know how to time anything, so you don't want to take anything I say for financial advice for sure, because I have shilled some really crappy stuff. Not shilled it, but I've talked about some really crappy stuff on this show. And just to see how it works. That's what I do. I like to poke around and see how things work, and sometimes I'm poking a bear. So let's see here. Crypto.com up 28.1%, down to 2.6% in the past 24 hours. This is just a little personal prediction, but I think Crypto.com will do very well this weekend. I think there's going to be a lot of ads from the Super Bowl and stuff like that happening with Crypto.com. And Crypto.com spends a lot of money on marketing, and they are very good at it. And I mean, they've always been good at it. They bought the name Crypto.com a long time ago, and it turned out to be a really good investment for them. Okay, let's see here. Cosmos down 6.1, down 2% over the 7 days. So that's one of the few down over the past 7 days. Chainlink is at 1763. Near Protocol down 7.1, up 8.8% in the past 7 days. Let's see. So the Leo token, I wanted to take a look at this one today. There's been a lot of stuff happening with the Leo token in the past week. A lot of things in the headlines. There's been a couple that have been busted for $3.6 million for having $3.6 million worth of stolen Bitcoin. And that's a big deal, So whether or not they were the hackers of the 2016 Bitfenix exchange hack, or they bought those stolen Bitcoin from somebody at some point in an OTC, over-the-counter trade market, well, I don't know. A lot of people argue that these people don't seem smart enough to launder $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin, as they stayed in New York City, did not move around much, and were seemingly attempting to launder this stuff through things like gift certificates, gift cards. So, but the price of the token is up 52% in the past 7 days. So we had a huge surge in people buying it, because the Leo token is the token for the Bitfinex exchange. And now that the funds for the Bitfinex exchange have been confiscated by the feds and recovered, and supposedly they're going to be given back to the Bitfinex exchange. And there's a program with the Leo token where the Leo token will be burned. Up to 80% of the Leo token of the recovered funds will be burnt. The Leo token equivalent, I believe, of it will be burned. And I'll get into the details here on this. I want to go to an article and just kind of touch on this, because I love myself some cat. What are you doing? So the cat decided it wanted to barge in. Hold on, let me shut this door. All right, cats are weird. They hey, what's going on? What are you doing in here? Like, what do you want to hear about? Crypto prices, cat? Okay. Anyway, so yeah, so let's take a look at an article covering Bitfinex fraud, and then we'll get into that couple, because that's a little more fun. Okay, I love juicy crypto crime stories like this. As I've gotten into crypto and kind of gotten up to speed over the past. There's my alarm. I'm up before my alarm. As I have got into crypto and I've got up to speed, on how it all works and things like that, the more I find myself like becoming super fascinated with like crypto crime stories. I think this could be an entire niche, like for on Netflix or something like that could like focus on like crypto crime. And I think that a lot of people would probably watch it. Maybe just do. And I'm sure there is out there already an entire podcast dedicated to nothing but crypto crime. There is. whole lot of stuff right now surrounding like Gerald Cotton, and a lot of that has been surfaced because 0x Sifu, which was Gerald Cotton's partner in the Quadriga exchange, and that turned out to be a crazy shite show in which Gerald Cotton, a lot of people still believe that he's alive and faked his death and everything like that, and he ran off with $360 million worth of funds from the Quadriga exchange. Yeah, man. So there's some pretty crazy stuff that's happened in the crypto financial space. Anyway, Bitfinex, now back to Bitfinex, they got hacked in 2016. And there was a lot of Bitcoin stolen, and that Bitcoin is now worth $3.6 billion. It wasn't worth that much in 2016, and we'll see here. So Bitfinex cries fraud as crypto capital. Oh, no, wrong article. I'll get into that here in a second. That was an old article. So Bitfinex backed Leo token soars to record high on supply crunch expectations. Now let me make sure this window is up so you can follow along if you are watching on YouTube. If you're listening to audio, sorry for this little intermission for a second while I get this squared away, but you have the better audio, as I do run the audio through an audio program before I upload it for podcasting to the podcasting services like Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Google Play. So yeah, feel free to download that and rate this podcast on those. So anyway, the stolen funds surged almost 70% in a day after the DOJ announced that, and this was written on February 9th. So yeah, 2 days ago. The stolen funds surged almost 70% in a day after the DOJ announced that it had recovered most of the stolen funds from the 2016 Bitfenix hack. Una said Leo, the Leo token, surged by almost 70% on February 9th to reach its record highs as traders assess the potential of an incoming supply crunch in its market, because traders determined that, okay, great, the funds are recovered. They're going to be burning a large portion of those Leo tokens, and so they wanted to capitalize on the arbitrage on that. So the token was issued in 2016 to refinance crypto exchange Bitfinex after it lost about $70 million worth of Bitcoin in a hacking incident. In its original white paper explaining Leo, Bitfinex had promised that if they could recover the lost funds, they would use 80% of the proceeds to buy back and burn Leo. So let's take a quick look at this white paper, as I like to do. I like to go to the source. Okay, so anyway, here is the Leo token white paper in the Bitfinex white paper. Let's see here. So they're talking about all the different services that Bitfinex offers. Yeah. And yeah, there's, okay, so let's see here. The Unus Sed Leo, if you're curious about that, the company motto, Unus Sed Leo, is a Latin citation from Aesop's fable, The Sow and the Lioness. The fable, in short, details how a sow brags about how many children she has, and then asks the lioness if she had only one child. And the lion replies, one, but the lion, so the ethos of quality over quantity and individual strength extends across several elements of iFenix, from being a privately owned company to our recruitment and operational infrastructure. It's also an ideal that binds us together, persons linked to our company, from team members to shareholders, from communities to individual supporters. So anyway, that's where that Unus Sed Leo comes from. I was kind of curious about that because I kept seeing that Latin phrase for, every time the Leo token was mentioned. So let's go scroll down here to where they talk about the Bitfenix hack. So the history of doing right by our customers. Oh, hold on. Let me move this out so you can see this. It didn't quite all get in frame. Okay. Okay. So on the 2nd of August, 2016, Bitfinex suffered a hack depleting the exchange of 119,756 Bitcoin. To call this a huge loss is a gross understatement, and many exchanges would, and in similar circumstances did, throw in the towel in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Instead, the entire Bitfinex team remained united and worked together to find a solution to both save the platform and make everyone whole in under a year. So Bitfinex took a unique approach, allocating the losses across all accounts and crediting specially designed BFX tokens to customers at a ratio of 1 BFX to $1 loss. Bitfinex honored its commitment to repay the losses. Within 8 months of the security breach, all BFX token holders had their tokens redeemed at 100 cents on the dollar, or had exchanged their tokens directly or indirectly for shares of the capital stock of iFenix Incorporated. All BFX tokens were redeemed and destroyed through this process. Okay. Additionally, Bitfinex created a tradable recovery right token, RRT token, for the BFX holders that converted BFX tokens into shares of Bitfinex. So some people converted their BFX tokens into shares, and then that in turn those shares got converted to the RRT tokens. The benefit to RRT tokens was that in the event of any retrieval of the stolen property, and after any outstanding or unconverted BFX token holders had been reimbursed, recovered funds would be distributed to RRT holders at up to $1 per RRT. Bitfinex continues to pursue multiple strategies for recovery. Was written in 2019. It is collaborating with law enforcement to track and seize the stolen Bitcoin as soon as they reach any exchange or business. This approach bore some fruit in February 2019 when Bitfinex was able to restore almost 28 Bitcoin, thanks to ongoing collaboration with the U.S. government. Thanks to ongoing collaboration with the U.S. government. In addition, the company is working with industry leaders to create a procedure to offer the hacker the chance to safely and privately refund the money of the stolen funds while keeping a percentage of them as a reward for collaborating and finally resolving the issue. So kind of a white hat hacker reward. A lot of people do this. I've talked about white hat versus black hat hackers and the whole Danny Sesta thing. There can be no assurance that these or any other strategies will be successful. And then they talk about crypto capital. And crypto capital is another thing that Bitfinex had an issue with. And crypto capital was involved in some money laundering issues and things like that, and ended up having some of their funds seized. And Bitfinex had some of their money on crypto capital, and so did Quadriga Exchange as well, that Gerald Cotton was involved in, with that mysterious death. So crypto capital has been the center of a lot of dastardly activity in the crypto market. So here's an article written on October 30th, 2019. Bitfinex cries fraud as crypto capital executive indicted by U.S. So a brief look at the history of the mysterious firm Crypto Capital and its ties to Bitfinex as court cases brew. So Bitfinex hasn't really had like the best run here, right between 2016 and 2019, like a lot of stuff was going down. So it looks like now Bitfinex may be seeing a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, with the recovery of these stolen funds. So we'll see. It doesn't mean I'm going to be rushing out and grabbing, the token. But Crypto Capital's partnership with Bitfinex has garnered significant scrutiny in recent months, with the exchange claiming that liquidity issues have been triggered by an inability to access $880 million worth of its funds that were being held by Crypto Capital. Down here it just talks about the relationship, and then it talks about the Crypto Capital account seized in 2018. Polish authorities seized $371 million from an account held by Crypto and a bunch of Polish letters I can't understand in Poland for alleged ties to Colombian cartel operations. Bitfinex denied the alleged ties to the account seized and claimed that its operations were unaffected by the events. Crypto Capital accounts that have been operated on behalf of the now defunct website Backpage were also seized in a sex trafficking bust by authorities in 2018. Then they had tensions rising, and then Bitfinex so Crypto Capital had everything seized. And then here's a little chat log here. Hey Oz, sorry to bother you every day. Is there any way to move at least $100 million? We are receiving massive withdrawals, and we are not able to face them anymore unless we can transfer some money out of Crypto Capital. And then on 2018, October 15th, about a month later, Merlin pleaded with Crypto Capital, so Merlin from Bitfinex, to provide Bitfinex with the funds, warning that too many withdrawals were waiting for a long time and that a failure to respond could be extremely dangerous for the entire crypto community, adding Bitcoin could tank below 1,000 if we don't act quickly. On October 17th, Merlin stated that Bitfinex urgently needed $100 million in either Tether USD or USD within 1 week. The next day, Merlin told Crypto Capital, too much money is trapped with you, and we are currently walking on a very thin crust of ice. So there was some trouble. Crypto Capital's fallout affected Quadriga, it affected Bitfinex and a bunch of other companies. So back to this article about the Leo token. Okay, no, let's go back to the white paper here. So we had the Bitfenic hack, and then we also have the Crypto Capital hack. And in Bitfenix's words, in early 2015, Bitfinex established a relationship with a payment processor known as Crypto Capital. Bitfinex strengthened its relationship with Crypto Capital in the immediate aftermath of a service disruption initiated by a U.S. correspondent bank. In summer 2018, Crypto Capital represented to Bitfinex that funds in its custody had been the subject of a partial government seizure. Although they were expected to be released shortly, by the end of 2018, Bitfinex grew concerned that Crypto Capital might fail to return funds there and began negotiating a credit facility for a secured revolving line of credit on commercially reasonable terms. Bitfinex is actively working in various jurisdictions around the world to expedite the return of these funds and is confident in the future success of these efforts, although there's no certainty that Bitfinex will be able to recover these funds. Nevertheless, the credit facility provides a stopgap measure in order for Bitfinex to recover operational shortfalls. So, there's this Leo token is issued. The summary below describes the principal terms of the Leo token. Okay, so the Leo token is a utility token at the heart of the Bitfinex. It offers, your typical, privileges, discounts, and stuff like that for people that hold the Leo token on the exchange. Typical of any type of exchange token, it offers you percentage discounts, it offers you access to certain things, and whatever. So the use of proceeds. Proceeds may be used for working capital and general business purposes, including capital expenditures, operating expenses, yada, yada. So purchase and sale of Leo tokens shall be on the terms and conditions. Okay, so let's see here. Commercial uses, reduction of fees and other discounts on Bitfinex and Ethfinix as described more fully herein. All right. And then the repurchase and burn commitments. Okay, so on a monthly basis, Bitfinex and its affiliates will buy back Leo token from the market equal to a minimum of 27% of the consolidated gross revenues of Bitfinex from the previous month until no tokens are in commercial circulation. Repurchases will be then made at then prevailing market rates. Leo tokens used to pay fees may also be used to satisfy this repurchase commitment. In addition to the above amount equal to at least 95% of the recovered funds from Crypto Capital will be used to purchase and burn outstanding Leo tokens within 18 months from the date of recovery. Okay, and then further, an equal amount of at least 80% of recovered net funds from the Bitfenic hack will be used to repurchase and burn outstanding Leo tokens within 18 months from the date of recovery. So the feds just recovered this. I don't know how long it's going to take to be able to get that Bitcoin from the feds, and or if the feds are even going to comply and give all of that Bitcoin back. But apparently within 18 months of getting back those funds, then the Leo token will be burned. So it's not something that's going to be happening immediately. So these people that are hoping to arbitrage off of the confiscation of those Leo tokens might not be in luck. So anyway, let's go back over here. Around 80% of the stolen Bitcoin recovered on Cointelegraph. That it seized over 3.6 billion worth of dollars of Bitcoin, around 94,000 Bitcoin stolen from Bitfinex in 2016, as valued per the current Bitcoin to dollar exchange rates. Overall, Bitfinex had lost 119,754 Bitcoin to the hack, meaning the cryptocurrency tied to the incident was worth around $4.5 billion at the time of the Department of Justice's seizure. Bitfinex confirmed its promise to use the recovered funds to buy back and burn Leo tokens in an issue statement Tuesday, noting the process would be completed within 18 months of the date it received. So Department of Justice officials told the press that they plan to set up a court process for victims to recover their stolen funds. Nonetheless, they did not disclose how long the process would take to finish. If the past is any indication, crypto funds tied to an exchange-related hacks take time. For instance, victims of Mt. Gox's $460 million hack from 2013 are still waiting for their refunds. Wait a minute, 2013, how many years ago, man? That's like 9 years ago. But Leo bulls ignored such red flags and went ahead with raising their bids for the token on February 8th, anticipating that the upcoming supply crunch would make the token more valuable in the long run. As it happened, Leo's price rose from its all-time high at $8.14 to what it is now. So Adam Cochran, an activist venture capital firm in Cinnamian or whatever Ventures, identified problems with the ongoing Leo price rally, noting that not all the recovered funds would go through Bitfinex unless those holdings belong to the exchange themselves. There could, of course, be some weird deal structure in place with the custom tokens Bitfinex issued, where they essentially claim they bought the loss off of other customers, and so Bitcoin is theirs, and they can claim it all and then later distribute. The executive tweeted on February 8th, adding that he personally won't be purchasing Leo while expecting a quick buyback from Phoenix. Yeah. So don't bet all your cards on the Leo token, folks. That's all I'm saying. Not financial advice, but even Adam Cochran here, says that. So, conversely, Alexander Mamasidikov, okay, co-founder of crypto wallet service Mindplex, called the recovery of Bitfinex funds a right fundamental that could back Leo's growth in the future. So who knows? Maybe it is the sun beginning to shine on the Bitfinex cloud, and it could be the chance for to establish some ground floor foundation and fundamentals that could turn the page for the Bitfinex exchange. Native to Bitfinex, Leo has a chance of tagging along with the future ecosystem growth of the trading platform, a move that is built to guarantee the coin's continuous uptrend. So you have the glass half empty and the glass half full here. Leo is arguably underpriced when compared to the native tokens of its major competitors. In the midterm, Leo is poised to touch the $10 resistance point, while a quarterly close of $12 likely that could this current growth pace be sustained. Okay, so let's get to the fun stuff real quick before I go. I did not want to leave out, because this is what everybody has been tweeting about, all the sensational headlines about this couple. You have this couple here. Let me go to a picture so you can see this tweet here shows a very conservative picture of the couple. I mean, Ilya Lichtenstein, I mean, he looks like a dorky dude. In every picture you see of him, he looks like a standard dorky guy. He looks like the anchor in this couple to her little wild ass. Basically, she is a woman of many faces, and there's plenty of YouTube videos of her rap. I mean, honestly, I get what she's doing. She's kind of creating ironic rap. It's terrible, and I think it's meant to be terrible. I think she knows that. She's kind of poking fun and having fun, whatever. But this is a very conservative picture of her, so I will go to a different article. What do $4 billion in missing Bitcoin, female rapper Razzlekhan, that's her rapper name, Forbes magazine writer, and the U.S. Department of Justice have in common? A thread on the 2016 Bitfenic hack, its resolution, and the implications. The strangest crypto story of the year so far, at least, right? Because it's only in February of 2022. Okay, so hold on, let me check the chat thread. Okay, hey, what's up, XRP Bull? How you doing? Nice to see you. Yo, welcome. And XRP Bull has been following me for a while and always periodically says, "What's up?" All right. Sorry. Anyway, I wanted to say hi. The story starts with the infamous Bitfenic hack. In August 2016, a still unknown hacker gained access to the exchange. So they don't know that it is that couple. They just know that that couple held the Bitcoin. Okay, so allowing them to authorize around 2,000 unapproved transactions, they stole 119,754 Bitcoin, worth about 72 million, and it tanked the market by nearly 40%. So that hack was a really large hack, and it caused the market tank by 40%. That's a lot. So what happens next? It's unclear, but those coins were likely sold in a P2P OTC deal, a peer-to-peer or over-the-counter deal, which means not on an exchange, between the hacker and a third party. It was just another one of those several previous smaller hacks of Bitfinex in the eyes of the public, and the exchange never really gained trust, right? So although most customers hadn't been hacked, the exchange slashed account balance across the platform by 36% to stay solvent. So can you imagine if your funds were on an exchange and they were like, sorry, we got hacked, so 36% of your portfolio is gonna get slashed. So to even out this account balancing, rebalancing, losses were reimbursed in the Bitfinex exchange token Leo. So say for instance you have a bunch of Bitcoin on an exchange, some Ethereum or whatever, and 36% of it gets cut, and they're like, we're just gonna go ahead and take that, and here, you can have our Leo token. Nothing happened publicly until 2020, when Bitfinex put up a bounty of 400 million for the now 1.3 billion in missing Bitcoin. Sorry. The hack moved around a bit, but no one was able to trace it back to any identity. But there are some really, really smart chain analysis people that follow this stuff, and Bitcoin is traceable. So on January 31st, the on-chain observers began to see strange activity around the wallets holding the funds from the hack. It seems strange to many observers as the funds were consolidating without any privacy-seeking behavior. Because normally if somebody wants to hide the path, they go to Monero and do the ring signatures, or they use Tornado Cash or something like that to mix it around, and make it hard to follow. Or so those are privacy tokens and privacy projects, right? and people use those to hide the source of the funds. All right, so yeah, it's a launder. Today, the Department of Justice announced that the hack Bitcoin, now worth $3.6 billion, had been recovered. No one had ever really lost track of the Bitcoin, even as those controlling the wallets had tried to hide their trail using the now defunct Alphabay, Monero, and gift cards. So gift cards of everything. So let's take a quick look at this. All right, so I want to see this image here, and it kind of shows a little graph of the path of all this Bitcoin. So that's the thing about Bitcoin is everything is really transparent. You know, you can see what's happening, you just can't see who's doing it. So yeah, let me go to the screen here and let me get this whole thing up on there for you people watching it. So let me show you this tree here. All right, so look at this big old flow chart, I guess, you know. So it goes to about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wallets, and then accounts within those wallets. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, all right, a lot. All right, so that's on the Alpha Bay market. I don't know much about the Alpha Bay market, but apparently that's was a place where people would try to move stuff around. Okay, and then a bunch of some stuff did get moved to Monero. And let's see here, VCE account 1 and then account 1 Indian email address. So these are all going to Indian email addresses. So they traced it down to that. I don't really make much sense out of this graph. It seems kind of confusing to me. So pardon me if I can't really follow that. Yeah, I'm not very good at looking at graphs and flowcharts, if you haven't gathered that. Anyway, although they knew where the funds were, they didn't know who was behind the hack or how to recover them. Trading exchange accounts to India-based emails, they linked Bitcoin to the business and personal accounts of 2 people, Ilya Lichtenstein and his wife, Heather Morgan. And there they are. So yeah, now that they had the identities, they got a warrant to break into the cloud data provider account of Liechtenstein, a dual citizen of Russia and the U.S. Luckily for the Department of Justice, Ilya stored the private keys in plain text on that service, which contained about $3.6 billion in Bitcoin. I don't know about you, but if I had $3.6 billion in Bitcoin, I wouldn't just be storing private keys in plain text on anything. I would be sitting there using one of those decoder things. What was it on that movie, A Christmas Story? I can't remember the name of that. But yeah, Ovaltine. I would be using an Ovaltine decoder, you know. I don't know. Cold storage for sure. But anyway, here's where the story gets weirder. While they were Bitcoin millionaires on paper, the company had laundered the money via, among other things, purchasing $500 gift cards from Walmart, Uber, Hotels.com, and PlayStation. They couldn't even access most of the money. So here's just a little tree diagramming where some of those stolen Bitcoin funds and what they had bought with some of those stolen Bitcoin funds. And they're buying gift cards. All right, so let's see here. Uber gift cards. Make sure you always have a ride somewhere. Hotels.com, PlayStation. Yeah, I'm sure they're Fortnite accounts were pretty loaded up with the necessary gold. Records show that portions of the $500 gift card were then redeemed through three transactions for personal items via the Walmart iPhone application. Each of the 3 redemptions were conducted online under Morgan's name, using one of Morgan's email addresses and providing Morgan and Liechtenstein's home address for delivery. Oh my God, man. I'm not the sharpest tack in the drawer, but I would not be tying gift cards to my email address and home address and then buying it with stolen Bitcoin. I don't know. On top of that, the couple was relatively known. Heather Morgan was a serial entrepreneur and angel investor who had written for both Inc. and Forbes magazine on entrepreneurial and social persuasion. All right, so she's a little New York writer hipster, writing for large magazines. Yeah, I used to live in Williamsburg for a while in New York, and that was hipster central back in the early 2000s, from 2001 to 2005 and stuff like that. Probably still is. I don't know. Maybe all the hipsters have been priced out. But anyway, Uh, so yeah, Heather Morgan was a serial entrepreneur and angel investor who had written for both Inc. and Forbes magazine on entrepreneurship and social persuasion. Her side gig, Razzlekhan, amateur rapper. This rapper, in quotes, with an alias of Razzlekhan, aka Heather Morgan, was charged today in New York City with being part of a money laundering scheme that involved billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And Ilya Lichtenstein was publicly known as well, a co-founder of MixRank, a Y Combinator-backed startup that helps companies analyze marketing data around customers and competitors. Today, they were both taken into Department of Justice custody. So there's Ilya Lichtenstein looking like a conservative dweeb, and her looking like a crazy ass. Let's just hear this rap music here for a second. I'm curious. All right, so let's take the sound off here, and let's see here. All right, come on now, come on.
This song is for the entrepreneurs and hackers, all the misfits and smart slackers. Razzlekhan, the Versace better win. Come real far, but don't know where I'm heading. Motherfucking crocodile of Wall Street. Silver on my fingers and boots on my feet. Always be a goat, not a goddamn sheep. Email me, fuck your message at the beep. Beep, 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 beep. Spirit of a revolutionary, power of a dictator. Love to be contrary, but I'm fly like a gator. I've got pilot blood, I'm a real risk taker. Pirate riding the flood, badass money maker. Grandmother crocodile, weirder than an X-File. Brief fire, silver, so sexy when I slither. Sparkle on my little finger, hell of a razzle ear to ear. Poised to throw a zinger, playing on their worst fear. Razzlekhan, the Versace better win. Come real far, but don't know where I'm heading.
I don't know, man. You know, it's like it's got kind of a Weird Al vibe to it. Yeah, like a female Generation Z Weird Al vibe. Yeah, I don't dog on content creators because I'm a terrible content creator myself, and you know, I don't know how serious she's trying to be with a rap career here. I don't know. It's pretty funny, man. Like, I gotta hand it to her. So yeah. Anyway. So that's her, and that's her husband, and yeah, they're sitting there trying to launder $3.6 billion worth of Bitcoin through gift cards on one of the most famous exchange hacks, you know, in crypto history. So as to the Bitcoin, well, hypothetically, it'll be given back to Bitfenix, who plan to buy back their exchange token in a long overdue but maybe ineffective way to repay customers. Their token Leo is mooning on the news and has made its way to the top 25 cryptos. This has big implications for both Leo and Bitcoin, as it represents a huge block of Bitcoin that will come back on the market. With selling methods like TWAP, as well, I don't know what that is, but okay, as well as over-the-counter deals, it's likely that it doesn't affect the Bitcoin market too much, but $4 billion of Bitcoin is a decent chunk. Also, now the federal government has nearly $4 billion in crypto on their balance sheet. Yeah, it's not technically theirs, but on the other hand, you know, it goes with governments. On the other hand, it is also shows us that the Department of Justice is both closely examining and deploying massive resources to the crypto industry. It's a good reminder that exchanges aren't 100% safe, and that Bitcoin isn't private, and that you should store your keys offline. In an insane saga, another day in crypto. So yeah, man. That was a good thread by Jack Newald. I don't know who he is, but I follow him, and yeah. Yet again, more drama in the crypto space. I love it. I love crypto drama. As far as like crypto crime drama, there's a lot of other crypto drama going on right now that I don't particularly love. You know, social justice warrior type of drama. I don't get into that. I like crypto crime drama. This stuff is juicy to me. It's fun. All right. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and get on down to work. I'll probably have to take the kid to school because the other kid decided to want to drink nail polish remover. All right. All right, man. I will talk to you guys probably tomorrow. Who knows what we'll be talking about? I got a whole list of stuff I got to talk about, man. Like, people put in suggestions, and I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you like this content. Yeah, subscribe on my podcast platforms like Spotify and stuff like that, and Apple Podcasts, iTunes, and all that crap. Yeah, so I gotta get on down, do that commute down to work, and time to get up, go to work. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content,
give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.